Thank you, Mr. Wainwright. I would ask you to open your programs to page 5, please. And I want to tell you a little bit about George Cox and contrast him to our 9 o'clock speaker to make a point. At 9 o'clock, our speaker was an 18-year-old who is actually graduating from Wake Tech before she finishes high school. So on one end of the scale, we have an 18-year-old who's graduating from Wake Tech. At the other end of the scale, he told me it was all right to say his age. He was 51. George has a master's degree in English. George is a former English instructor at another community college. At a time, he decided he wanted to, well, I won't tell you his story, but I will tell you that Wake Tech reaches out and provides the services that our people need, whether you're 18 years old, whether you're 51 years old and unemployed or looking for a career change, or 65, 70, 80 years old. Wherever your needs are, Wake Tech is there to try to help fill those educational needs for you. So, George is a little bit nervous, so I want you to apply. I told him that the secret is to look out here and imagine all of you sitting in your underwear. And if that doesn't make him laugh, then imagine all of you sitting in your birthday suits, and that'll really make him laugh. So, let me ask you to welcome George Cox. George?
Thank you, Dr. Scott. Good afternoon, faculty, staff, family members, and congratulations to all graduates of the class of 2014. My name is George Cox, and I want to share with you the story of my journey here to Wake Tech. I hope it will inspire. It began 25 years ago when I graduated from NC State with my master's degree in English. I believed at that time that it was going to be the beginning of a long career as an instructor. I taught at State for 1 year. I did some teaching with the Highway Patrol Cadets for NC State. After a year, I accepted a position at Johnston Community College. That position led me to the Selma Medium Security Prison, where I taught basic writing skills to the inmates there. Didn't think I was going to last very long there. However, after 3 years, I decided I may want to move on. Even though I had a captive audience, I didn't feel like the prison was where I needed to be. So I accepted a position at JCC's main campus, teaching English, composition, and literature courses. I thought, this is going to be where I'm going to stay until retirement. So I settled in for the long haul, not expecting anything to change. However, a few years later, things did change. Distance education was introduced, and somebody needed to create the first online courses for the school. There were no volunteers, so I stepped up and said I can create an online course for the English department. Very excited to be a part of it. For the first 2 years of the distance education program, I taught one section of online English courses. Really enjoyed it. I loved making the web pages. I also loved the forums where I created websites for the school. This idea of technology delivering information to students really fascinated me. So I decided after a few years of doing that I would open up my own small business, creating websites for local businesses in the area. I resigned my position at JCC and set up shop out of my home. Business was great for the first 2 years. Then after the tragedy of 9/11, as with so many businesses in the area, my business slumped, it suffered, I lost many clients, and I was faced with not knowing where my future was going to go. I was desperate, I was almost broke. I applied to every teaching position I could find, even at Wake Tech. While I was invited to several interviews, the only correspondence I received was the generic email that said, "The preferred candidate has accepted the position. Thank you for your application." So I skipped around from one part-time job to another. I was a freelance editor for former colleagues. I was a proofreader. I was a medical transcriptionist at veterinary hospitals, as well as an on-again, off-again web designer for the few clients that still remain. I even spent a few months ghostwriting a novel for a friend. However, I was unfulfilled. There was something missing. Plus, none of those jobs paid very well. Needless to say, during all that time, I was very thankful to my wife, who was working full-time, supporting our family. By 2010, I was officially a stay-at-home dad, and I decided to homeschool my 6th grade son, Nathan. That was a lot of fun. During that first semester, I realized exactly what it was that I had been missing, why I felt so unfulfilled. It was teaching. I missed being in the classroom. So while my wife supported our family financially, I worked to educate our children. I felt as though I was finally coming to a good place. I felt that there was hope for my future. Then a few months later, in January of 2011, my wife was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. For the first 48 hours, we didn't know whether she would survive. The doctors told us that she would have to endure a month in the hospital as well as several rigorous treatments of chemotherapy. Because of her extended absence from her job, her employer had to let her go. So now my family was left with no primary breadwinner. We had no idea what our financial future would look like. I came to the realization that it wasn't my future that was important, but ours. Thankfully, by the grace of God and several months of chemotherapy treatments, she recovered and is in full remission today. But we were broke, and neither had any prospects, and we were quickly running out of both money and hope. But something had to happen, and soon. At the time, my daughter Lindsay was a junior at Middle Creek High School, and every day I would drive her to and from school, and we would pass by Wake Tech's campus. Every week or so, she would ask me about the college. Was it difficult? You used to teach at college. What will it be like? She'd been asked if I missed being a teacher, which of course I did. These questions stirred those old feelings, the inescapable desire to get back into the classroom. Then one day, Lindsay told me that Wake Tech had visited her school, and she learned all about the simulation and game development program. She shared what she had learned with me that day, and I felt that familiar stirring within me. Flooded with memories of teaching online courses, developing websites, homeschooling my son, I had a eureka moment. I realized that in order to move forward, I had to go back to school. So I applied to the Simulation and Game Development Program, and 3 years later, my journey to Wake Tech has brought me here to this stage to receive my associate's degree in Simulation and Game Development. But my journey with Wake Tech has just begun. I am now back in the classroom, teaching for the Simulation and Game Development Program at the Vernon Malone College and Career Academy. And I have 3 important people to thank for that opportunity. So in closing, I would like to offer the thanks to those special people who helped me to get to where I am today. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife. Tracy, your undying love and unyielding support over the years has not only strengthened my resolve, but has humbled me as a person. Your encouragement and selfless dedication has helped me get to this stage. I would also like to thank Cindy Foster, Department Head for the Simulation and Game Development Program. Thank you, Cindy, for helping me get with the program, as you once told me, and for giving me the opportunity to return to the classroom where I feel I belong. And finally, I wish to sincerely thank Dr. Scott. Your vision for this school and your dedication to and support of the faculty, staff, and students has truly made this college the best in the state. Wake Tech truly is a place where futures are created. Thank you, and congratulations, graduates.
Sean Beal, Monique Kong.